Welcome to Wisdom for Health Show. Today our guest is physician Wong from the Singapore College of Traditional Chinese Medicine. She will instruct us on how to cook quick and delicious dishes with healing properties. Physician Wong graduated with a double degree in biomedical sciences from NTU and traditional Chinese medicine from the Beijing University of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Stay tuned. Our first guest is Ms. Chua, a TCM physician and teacher from the Singapore College of Traditional Chinese Medicine. Physician Chua practices at the Zhonghua Medical Institution in Singapore. She represents a new generation of TCM physicians where they study TCM together with modern science. Physician Chua, can you tell us how is traditional Chinese medicine different from modern or allopathic medicine?
So traditional Chinese medicine originated from central China more than 3,000 years ago. It uses ancient Chinese philosophies such as yin-yang and five elements to direct diagnosis and treatment methods as well. It includes many different types of treatment methods, including the use of herbs, cupping, acupuncture, tuina, so on and so forth. And it's very known for personalized treatment. Modern medicine is very based on the scientific approach. So with the scientific approach, your drugs are actually targeting the middle of the bell curve. So like a bell curve, in the middle are the majority of the population. But there are some symptoms that the people from the two ends of the bell curve, they experience these symptoms, and modern medicine is unable to target these people. But one of the more significant differences that I would like to share with you is that TCM views things from a very holistic viewpoint, acknowledging that our body is actually part of the universe as well. We also acknowledge that we are part of our surroundings and nature. So the patterns that you see in nature can also be reflected in our body as well. You can talk about the menstrual cycle. Some people call it the moon cycle because a regular period is supposed to be about 28 days, which is very similar to the number of days it takes for the moon to revolve around Earth. So if your menstrual cycle is like very irregular, it means that maybe your body is not in tune with nature anymore. And then that's when we want to use TCM or some natural methods to bring your body back in tune with nature again.
Since a vaccine may not be available until 1 to 2 years' time, from the TCM perspective, what can we do to protect ourselves from COVID-19?
There's a formula called 玉屏风散. It's very commonly used to boost the immune system. It boosts the qi and helps to prevent us from getting viral diseases. Okay? And some traditional families also incorporate certain herbal soups. So they add maybe ginseng or they add huang qi, or it's more commonly known as bei qi. They just add it to their soups. Besides this, we can also do some simple breathing exercises. Okay, so some deep breathing exercises. In TCM, the lungs and the large intestines are actually a pair of good friends. So we also call them internally and externally related to each other. Make sure that you have smooth bowel movements, meaning you should go to number 2 every day. So make sure you get enough water, get enough fiber, and you eat regular meal.
If we are infected with COVID-19 and start to experience early and mild symptoms such as the loss of our smell and taste and a dry cough and maybe a mild fever, what can we do to prevent the disease from becoming worse?
Let me just put the disclaimer out there first. As a TCM physician, we are not allowed to give primary health care to COVID patients. We can only rely on supportive care to relieve symptoms and also our own immune system to fight off the virus. So when we prescribe herbal formulas, right, we have to look at the full picture. So for example, some people experience loss of appetite or diarrhea, or even anxiety. If you experience no other accompanying symptoms and you just have dry cough, you have a bit of fever, you have blocked nose or a bit of a sore throat, you can try using this formula, which is called Sangjun.
If that person has an underlying health condition such as diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure, and he just got infected. What advice would you give them?
What you want to do is to lessen the load on the other systems, because now all the body's energy is being directed at our immune system to fight off the disease. Now you want to get enough fiber so that you ensure that your bowel movements are smooth. Make sure you get enough nutrients which are in the form of leafy green vegetables and beans. Make sure the beans are well cooked, soaked overnight, well cooked so that they are very soft and easy to digest. You can also take foods such as Chinese yam or huaishan and lianzi, which are lotus seeds or lotus root as well. In TCM, according to the 5 elements, the spleen is actually in charge of your digestion. You take care of the mother, then it will take care of its child.
During the Wuhan lockdown in China, the China Daily reported that TCM herbal decoctions were given to thousands of COVID-19 patients to help them recover from the disease. Jingfeng Paidu Tang was one of the 6 TCM decoctions used. I understand that Jingfeng Paidu Tang is a traditional decoction commonly used to treat the common flu. Can you share with us about the healing properties of the herbs?
So from the name itself, Qingfei means to clear the lung. So more specifically, it means to clear heat from the lung. Okay, and then Paidu means to detoxify or to get rid of toxins. So when heat is severe, it becomes a toxin. So we want to detoxify as well. Qingfei Paidu Tang is also derived from several smaller classical formulas which have been used for many, many centuries in the past. So it's actually a mixture of these different formulas. And what these different formulas do is that it helps to get rid of heat and phlegm. Okay, there's also another group of herbs in Qingfei Paidu Tang, and this group actually acts a bit like diuretic. Okay, so what it means is that it helps people to urinate more often. You have to be clear on that. The diuretics in modern medicine and TCM is different. Okay, one of the characteristics of COVID-19 is that it resulted in patients having a very white tongue coating. So the tongue is also one part of the body that TCM physicians will look at. And other than this white tongue coating, patients also have lack of appetite and then diarrhea also. So these symptoms are actually a sign of dampness in the body. So very simplistically speaking, these so-called diuretic herbs help to get rid of this dampness by making the body get rid of fluids through urination.
At supermarkets, we can buy pre-packed Chinese herbs to brew tonic soups. How effective are these herbal tonics?
I would say they are effective as long as you know how to use them. If you're just using it as a supplement, of course, there's not really many side effects for these herbs. Okay, but if you already have a chronic disease or something more serious, then you might want to seek help from a physician to understand your condition better. There's a saying where if you know yourself and you know the enemy, right, then half the battle is won. In Chinese, it's called 知己知彼，百战不殆. So it's similar to the battle against COVID-19 or any other disease for the matter. You not only have to understand the disease, but you have to understand yourself as well. So for example, if you know you have a young constitution, you get heaty very easily, you get pimples very easily, or you get ulcers very easily, or nosebleeds very easily. So it could point to you having a young constitution. So if you take a lot of herbal tonics, right? Herbal tonics tend to be more warming. So they cause more heat in the body. Okay, so if you have a young constitution, you might not want to take so much of these herbal tonics. You might want to choose those cooling teas, or in Singapore we call them liang teh, liang cha. Okay, so these will be better for your body constitution.
Physician Chua, after speaking with you, I learned there's a lot more to TCM than I assumed and expected. The TCM approach, the underlying principles used in prescribing herbs, and the vast knowledge of herbal medicine is just amazing. I used to think that I can drink liang teh when I'm heaty or just throw some seeds, ginseng, and herbs into my soup to nourish my body. Now, I know all these herbs have nutritional and healing power. So if we take too much of these herbs, it could actually harm my body. I'm more mindful now that if I want to use herbs to improve my health or treat a health problem, it's better I consult a TCM physician first. Any last words to close our session?
So I would encourage people to have an open mind and make sure that if you do buy herbs, make sure you get it from a reputable source. So actually food has a lot of healing properties, okay? So if you know more about TCM, it's like increasing your knowledge about food itself.
Physician Wong, welcome to Wisdom for Health Show. Can you share some basic principles of cooking with TCM herbs?
Before we start, let me share about how TCM herbs can be included in our diet. Most people believe that TCM herbs are only used as medicine, and when it is used in food, they think of herbal tonic soups and herbal teas. For example, Danggui and goji berries used in herbal tonic soup or chrysanthemum for liang cha. Actually, TCM herbs can also be used in our daily diet based on their healing properties. Not only dried TCM herbs, but we can use fresh vegetables such as Chinese yam, coriander, spring onions, celery, and black fungus. In TCM, all herbs and foods are divided into two broad categories: cooling and warming. Cooling foods has the effect of clearing body heatiness. Warming foods boost the qi in our bodies. So, if you wish to increase our stamina or energy, we should consume foods that are warming in nature, such as ginseng, danggui, ginger, leeks, sesame oil, mangoes, and longans. People with inconstitution have these characteristics. They cannot tolerate cold temperatures well. Their hands and feet are usually cool, so they should consume more warming foods such that increase their qi. Those with young constitution do not like hot weather, thirst easily, suffers from nosebleeds and mouth ulcers. For those with neutral constitution, they are advised to have a balance of warming and cooling foods, or take more neutral vegetables such as carrot, spinach, shiitake mushrooms, and papaya. If you wish to clear heatiness from your body, you can consume more cooling foods such as the white color vegetables like cabbage and radishes. Eat more cooling fruits like dragon fruits, pineapples, or drink liang cha and raw sugarcane juice. If you wish to clear dampness from your bodies, you should consume Chinese yam, porya, lotus seeds, drink teas made of Chinese barley or tangerine peel. Our first dish is immunity boosting soup. The soup is consisted of 3 kinds of mushroom and many other herbs and pork ribs. Let's blanch the pork rib first. In blanching the pork ribs will help to get rid of the impurities, so just let it cook for around 3 minutes. Next, we will put all the herbs in the water and let it soak for 30 minutes.
Mushrooms are good for boosting stomach qi. They improve the digestive system by facilitating digestion.
After soaking for 30 minutes, cook the ingredients in high heat for 15 minutes. After cooking for 15 minutes, then transfer the pork ribs into the soup and cook for another 15 minutes.
When our digestive system is well maintained, qi and blood generated from the digested food will help strengthen our immunity.
Place the pot into the thermal cooker. And wait for another 2 hours and the soup can be served. The second dish is 四神汤, 4 herbs soup, which can also boost our immunity system. Okay, first I will soak the herbs in water without boiling for 15 minutes.
The ingredients in the 4 herb soup are Chinese yam, Chinese barley, red dates, corn, and goji berries.
After soaking it for 15 minutes, we will add the corn into the boiling water and also the Chinese yam. Let it boil for 15 minutes and transfer the pot into the thermal cooker. Leave it for 1.5 hours and the soup is ready to serve. Our third dish is immunity boosting steamed fish. Okay. First, we have to rub the fish with salt.
The ingredients in this dish are Batam fish, Astragalus, Danggui, licorice, red dates, goji berries, ginger and spring onion.
Next, after rinsing the fish, then we have to pat dry. Okay, after finish pat drying, then you can leave it aside. And on the fire and boil the water and get ready for steaming. Next, we will come back to the fish, and then we will put all the ingredients on top of the fish. After putting all the ingredients on top, and then put the ginger on top of the fish also. When the water starts boiling, just place the plate into the pot and close it with the lid. And cook it for 15 minutes. When the fish is cooked, remember to take out the herbs before serving. Just take out the Danggui and the Huang Qi and leave the red dates and goji berry, since both of them can be eaten. After finish taking out the herbs, then we will pour 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine on the fish. And sprinkle with some spring onion. Okay. After that, we'll close the lid and let it stay for another 5 minutes. Our fourth dish is cooking celery with black fungus.
Celery is a cooling vegetable that lowers blood pressure and helps alleviate constipation. Black fungus is rich in iron. It helps to improve qi, enrich the blood, and modulate the viscosity of the blood by inhibiting platelet aggregation.
When the pan is heated up, then pour 2 tablespoons of oil. In this case, you can you can choose to use the healthier choice of oil. For example, you can use grapeseed oil or olive oil for frying the dish. After that, you can add in the garlic. Then you can add in the ginger. And we will pan fry the ginger and the garlic until it is brownish. Okay, you can see that all the ginger and garlic is turning brownish already. Okay. So next step, we will add in our celery. So while frying this, you can add a bit of water. When the celery turning more green, then add in the black fungus. And then you can add some salt for seasoning. Then you can fry it again. Okay. After that, you can cover the lid. Okay. Then let it cook for another 2 minutes. Well, these are the 4 dishes that I have just cooked with TCM herbs and fresh herbs. Okay. Basically, these three dish over here is to boost your immune system, and the dish over here is to lower your blood cholesterol and blood pressure. And some small tips for you all. Actually, you all can cook both of these soups in the morning. Okay, just cook it and put it in the thermal cooker in the morning, and by the time you come back from work, you can just serve it. Okay, then after that, you can just steam the fish and cook the vegetables within maybe around 30 minutes. Yeah, then you all can enjoy the dinner with your families or even your friends.
Thank you, Physician Wong. Let food be your medicine and medicine your food. So says Socrates. You are what you eat, so eat healthy and you will be healthy. This is Wisdom for Health signing off now. Stay safe, stay healthy.